Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video of Let's Talk About the Adventures. The Avengers Infinity War, Part 4. We're in the fourth video. In the last video, we left off where Thanos is back on Titan. He's supposed to meet up with Ebony Maw, but instead he comes across Doctor Strange, so...
Oh yeah, you're much more of a Thanos. He brought you face to face with the master of the mystic arts.
Where do you think he brought you?
Let me guess. Your home?
They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Congratulations, you're a prophet
I'm a survivor.
who wants to murder trillions.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist. I call that mercy.
And then what?
I finally rest. The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Yeah, you see... I remember a couple of scenes back, I talked about how, Thanos has this very strong belief that this is the way he's doing these things of balancing the universe. This is like the only way for him. This is like the right way to him. Because of he just explained it right now about what happened to his home. He felt like if we would have just done what I wanted to do, we probably would have survived. His home wouldn't be the way it is right now. It wouldn't have gone extinct. But I guess after that, that's when he started going on this. I don't know. It just seems to me like this story was like, okay, yeah, poor Thanos, whatever. But at the same time, I feel like we need to get a little bit more information of like why did he was so set on like going on this path of correcting the whole universe. Like how did it just become a planet of his own to now like he wants to correct the whole universe? I guess does he think like it doesn't only affect one planet, it's also going to affect the entire universe, other worlds out there. He thinks like other worlds might affect other planets. So if he doesn't correct it, then all will be chaos. All planets will have a domino effect. So maybe he's doing this because of that. I don't know. I think in Avengers Endgame, I want to get a little more story about Thanos, which I think we will, and I really do hope we do. I want to know more about him. I think we'll get more a background story about maybe why he was all set onto this path that he chose. And yeah, because I feel like that's not enough. I feel like something else must have happened to lead him in his path, to push him to think like, okay, I need to go fix the whole universe. You know what I mean? Like now he wants to correct the whole universe where we don't need you to. Our planets are fine the way they are. We're kinda. Our world is also filled with problems, but at the same time, it's also filled with good. Part bad, part good. It's a little not balanced, but it's there. What else can we do? So hopefully in Avengers Endgame we'll get a little bit more. And then that part right now, excuse me, when he said,
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
the hardest choices require the strongest wills. I don't think he's the only one that believes in that. I mean, I do agree a part of it, but I think it just depends of like how you mean it or what you mean by that. Him is like, that is like saying, if you really want to, let's just say for example what he's doing, if you really want to correct the world, you want to bring balance to the universe, you got to make tough choices, but it's going to require a strong will. Like he has a very strong will to meet his goal, and nothing is going to get in his way. Not even the Avengers, nothing. Not even Gamora. The thing he loved, the daughter he loved the most, more than Nebula. I don't know. I do believe some people think like, for example, right there, to him, it might be evil. He might know that what he's doing is evil and wrong, but at the same time, in the end, it's what's going to bring something good to him. And in order to do that, yeah, he has to have a very, very strong will because I'm sure he's made a lot of tough choices and a lot of sacrifices to get to his goal. But yeah, I thought something interesting to think about.
I think you'll find our will equal to yours.
I do like that. Doctor Strange is like, I think you'll find our will equal to yours, meaning like, yeah, I think you'll find our will to strong will to stopping you from doing what you're gonna do equal to yours. So yeah, that's how like they're all about to clash to see. They're gonna give everything they've got to stop him, and then it's gonna give everything he's got to make sure they don't stop him. So it's gonna be. This is it, guys. The epic fight we've all been waiting for like how long? 10 years, 9 years for this, I believe. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah, if your goal was to piss him off.
That scene was cool. Watching Doctor Strange and Drax fighting together against Thanos. I loved it. Star Lord like flipped Thanos off and then just like boom and then falls back perfectly. It's like, yeah, you jerk. Like, Thanos was becoming so annoying to me that I'm like, ugh, I hope they could stop him. Man, like, I gotta say something. Like, when they were like throwing everything at Thanos, explosive shots of magic, like punches and all that good stuff, he was like, I don't know, he was just so indestructible. I was just like, man, nothing is stopping this man. Not even a scratch or anything. Like, when Iron Man threw all those missiles at him and all those explosion was happening around him, nothing. He had no scratches yet. So I was just like, oh my god, he's tough. He's a tough Titan. And here comes my favorite part. When Nebula comes in. I was like, damn! That was a perfect shot. Oh, and that part when I saw her coming out of the ship and then she jumps and punches him, I was like, probably like the only one who had like this reaction. I was like, yes! Nebula, you go! You know I'm a fan of Nebula. And I was like, yeah, maybe let him have it. I just love her entrance. Like, you know, it was Drax, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Stark, Star-Lord, all fighting against Thanos. And then Nebula just comes in. I think her entrance of, like, jumping into the fight was just so epic. I don't know, to me it was. I guess because I love Nebula. But you gotta admit, it was a cool entrance. You know what? Let me in on this fight. And yeah, she was just letting him have it. It was a small fight. She didn't do that much, but I still liked it. She had her moment to shine. Oh my god, and then that part where everybody was like getting his left arm and then his right arm. Oh, and then I love that part where Mantis perfectly. I love that part where they all had him left and right. They were holding his left and right arm. And then Doctor Strange like opens a portal and then Mantis jumps in. And I forgot about her. I was all like, oh yeah. And I thought, what a brilliant plan that for her to just come in and use her power to like manipulate his mind or something, or try to make him fall asleep. I don't know what she was doing, but she was doing a good job. She was doing her best to like keep him busy.
Is he under? Don't let up.
Be quick. He is very strong.
Parker?
Oh my god.
Get over here, scandal.
And when she said that, like, you hurry the F up, because I don't know how long I can do this to this guy, because he's very, very strong. So I was just like, oh god. And then when they were trying to get that gauntlet out of his hand, I was just like, how tough was it to just stay on that thing? Oh god, and here comes the part where everybody got so upset.
Thought you'd be hard to catch. For the record, this is my plan. Not so strong now, huh? Where's Gamora?
He is in anguish.
Good.
He mourns.
What is this? Monster! Have to mourn!
Gamora. You took her to Boromir. He came back with the Soul Stone. Did
Okay, Quill, you gotta cool it right now. You understand? Don't engage. We almost got this off!
Okay, first off,
Tell me you didn't do it! No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't!
oh, and they almost got it off. That's when everything messed up. Oh, and then when Spider-Man saves Mantis. Okay, so before we go on any further, let's talk about this scene where Peter Quill, he messed up. He effed up. He really did. I was very disappointed as well. But at the same time, I had to understand where he was coming from. And before we get to that, another thing. Did Gamora ever tell him, like, why Thanos was after her? Why she was so worried, like, you need to kill me if Thanos gets me, because I know something that he doesn't. And when he asked her, well, what do you know? Shouldn't you tell me? And she's like, if I tell you, then you'll know, and then he'll kill you too, you know. You'll know, in case I die or something, and then he knows that you know what I know. He's going to come after Peter Quill and try to get out of him or something. You know, he'll have a backup because Peter Quill will know. I think when Nebula said Gamora and Peter Quill responds like, what? Nebula was saying she took him to Volmir and he came back with a soul stone and she did it. Nebula knows, but then when Peter Quill turns around to Thanos and he's all like, asshole, don't tell me you didn't do it. I'm like, wait a minute, do what, Quill? Like, first off, I don't think she told you. You get me? Like, Gamora didn't even know. Maybe she did know that the Soul Stone required a sacrifice, or maybe she didn't. I don't know, because when it came to Thanos looking at her like, okay, now you're my sacrifice because I have to sacrifice the one thing I love, and it's you. So, get down there, and she was shocked, you know, like, I didn't think he would love me, or, you know, she was surprised. So how would Peter Quill know, like, you know, when he's like, asshole, tell me you didn't do it? How do you know what he did? You get me? I don't know. I kind of started questioning that moment. Unless, like, he just thought of it right there and then, like, common sense or something. I don't know. To me, I just felt like, no. I don't think Gamora told you what she knew about the Soul Stone. Maybe she did. I don't know. I don't know. That wasn't clear for me. Unless it was for you, Gal. I don't know. I don't know. That was just something that was kind of iffy. Okay, so let's talk about Peter Quill's effed up move. He just ruined the plan. Okay, so Peter Quill finds out what Thanos did to Gamora. And it's the love of his life. And Tony Stark was all like, you know, you need to calm yourself. We almost got this thing off. Please don't do anything that's gonna, like, mess things up. And of course he does. He starts punching Thanos. And if only he had just punched him, like, directly, like, right here, where Mantis's hands were nowhere near where he was gonna start punching and like banging him with the gun. But yeah, I ended up, like, hitting Mantis's hand, and then she lost focus. Thanos snapped out of it and then got Mantis off him. Just messed up everything. And they were like, oh, I remember that part when I saw that part where you see Spider-Man already, like, super, super close to getting off the gauntlet off his hand. I was all like, oh my God! I was disappointed. I was the same way as all of you. And everybody started saying Peter Quill was the guy who, like, really effed things up. He was the reason why everything just went the way it did towards the end. But you gotta think of it this way, guys. I didn't think, like, yeah, it is his fault, but you really want to talk about people's fault? All right, let's talk about how Nebula, I'm gonna go there, and she's my favorite. If she would have never got caught, she could have successfully killed him. What else? Then maybe you should blame Thor for not aiming at Thanos in the head, because that's his fault. If he would have aimed right in the head for Thanos, Thanos would have been dead. So yeah, talk about that. We could go on. I remember I had so much things, because me and my friend were talking about it, and I was all like, well, what about this and that and that? You know, when you want to talk about faults, let's go there. So, you know, it's not all his fault. I mean, it is in that part. Yes, it's his fault. Yeah. But I mean, come on, guys. What would you do in his shoes? You gotta think of it this way. He lost his mom long ago to cancer. Pobrecita. Like, I know what it's like to lose someone to cancer. I had a grandpa who was diagnosed with cancer, and it was tough. Um, so yeah, it's heartbreaking, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So he lost his mother to cancer. Second, he finds out who his dad is, but ends up having to kill him because his dad ends up being an a-hole, a man who just wanted to destroy the world. He almost killed his own son. So I'm even he's like in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. There was a part where Yandu was telling Peter Quill's like, you got some issues, boy. And he's all like, hell yeah. I don't remember exactly the lines, but he's all like, hell yeah, I got some issues. That's my father right there. But when he finally finds out who his dad is and he's alive and everything, you know, he wants to have that chance to have a father and son relationship. But that failed because finds out that his dad is a villain, had to put him down. And now, you know, he was moving on where him and Gamora were now in a relationship. And, you know, Gamora in this film, like I said before, it felt like she's let her guard down more. After everything he's been through, and now his girlfriend tells him, like, you need to kill me. It's like, why would I need to kill you after, like, everybody has been through a lot. And when he was, about to keep his promise to Gamora, like, when he was about to actually kill her, so, you know, she wouldn't die in the hands of Thanos, or, you know, he wouldn't take her away from him, he fails. He doesn't fail. Thanos tricks him just to mess around with him, like, yeah, do it. And then it just uses the reality stone to turn the bullets in his gun into bubbles. So Thanos, you know, kidnaps Gamora. Peter Quill feels guilty, and he's on a quest to save Gamora. Finds Thanos, asks him where is she, and then he gets told that Gamora's dead. So it's like, goddamn, like, it's kind of like Thor. He lost everybody, all his loved ones, and, you know, his way of, like, venting is just, like, you know, crying about it now that he's finally, like, venting out to a friend, which is Rocket. And this one, he's just in the moment, like, he doesn't know what to do. He's torn apart. I mean, he's sad, he's heartbroken, and he's pissed off. I would have been pissed off too, to realize, like, my girlfriend is dead. The love of my life is dead. Now that I finally was able to get through to her since the second film, like, letting her know there's an unspeakable attraction, and now that I had her, she's gone. It's like, what the? You get me? It's like you're in that moment and you hate this guy, Thanos, because you heard so much about him and what he's done, and now he's done this crazy thing where he's killed his own daughter. It's like, he's in the moment. He's going through a lot of stuff right now. He's thinking so much. He's feeling a lot of emotions, and he just can't help but to just, like, start beating his face in. And things just happen. Think of it this way. If they would have really gotten the gauntlet off, it would have been over. Get me? Like, that would have been the end of the movie. All they had to do now was just beat the crap out of Thanos as best as possible. Because now he's not that invincible anymore without the stones and the gauntlet. So I'm pretty sure it would have been smooth there. Maybe. Because then Tony Stark, when he was facing him later on, he barely made a scratch. So I don't know. I just think, like, think of it that way. If he really would have not done what he did, Peter Quill, to Thanos, maybe the movie would have ended so quick. We would have not gotten an Avengers Endgame. So think of it that way. So they couldn't just end it there. They had to make something mess up where the movie continues on and just gets the movie so intense, so gets you triggered. Just, you know, part of the story. But yeah, that was my take on Peter Quill's bad decision. But yeah, let's continue. Oh my god, and then that part where Thanos breaks the moon into pieces, or that little small planet. Well, Stark did say it's a moon. And just brings it all into that planet. I was like, damn, that's a powerful gauntlet with all those Infinity Stones. That was an epic scene there. I liked it. Now we're back at the war that's happening at Wakanda. They're trying to get that stone off of Vision. Oh!
How much for the gun? Not for sale. Okay, how much for the arm?
Oh, I'll get that arm. That was a cool moment, seeing Winter Soldier fight alongside with Rocket. When Rocket was asking him, like, okay, so how much for the gun? It's not for sale. All right, how much for the arm? Oh, I'm gonna get that arm. I wonder what Winter Soldier was thinking. Like, God, man, this is so weird. Today has been so weird. I'm fighting an army against aliens, and I'm fighting alongside a raccoon. A talking raccoon. So I don't know. I was just wondering what he was thinking.
Your haircut? Notice you've copied my beard? Oh, by the way, this is a friend of mine from Tree. I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah, I'm Steve Rogers. Like, he doesn't understand. Like, oh my god, it's just hilarious. I love it. And Thor, this is my friend Tree. Oh god, and then that's when you see something from the forest coming, and I'm like, oh my god, what the heck is it? I was like, oh my god, they're so outmatched. Like, a bunch of aliens, and then these huge spinning round things with spikes on them. Okay. Now we're about to get to another epic scene where my favorite character, Scarlet Witch, joins the fight. Because she's like watching from the window, from like protecting Vision. But she's watching helplessly, like, up there through the window, watching all her friends, like, battling. And she's like, oh. Even I was like, come on, Scarlet Witch, you gotta do something. Like, get into the fight, do something. And sure enough, she comes in and does that badass move. She picks up those spikes and sets them on the other aliens. I was like, oh yes, you go, girl. Show them how powerful you really are. Oh!
Why was she up there all this time?
Oh man, I really wanted them to get that stone out so that Vision would just, have it out. And I wouldn't have to worry about him dying. I was worried for Black Panther's sister. I really like her. I think she's very smart and intelligent. Oh god, and when Scarlet Witch got attacked, when she was on her way to go help her boyfriend.
She'll die alone, as will you. She's not alone.
Oh, I love that. Now, here comes another epic moment in the movie when Scarlet Witch was on her way to go save Vision. She gets interrupted by Proxima Midnight.
She'll die alone, as will you. She's not alone.
In that part, I was like, oh. And then when you see, I was like, oh. No, that part was so epic. It's like, oh no, girl. You're going to attack our friend. You're going to attack us too. You're going to deal with us. I thought that was like such a badass moment where, girl power. I will say, I did like how, Banner was still trying to get Hulk to come out, but Hulk was still traumatized after the events of what happened, getting beat up by Thanos. He had his moment to shine, human Banner, by showing that, I was still able to, like, beat this alien creature by using the Hulkbuster, but, he had his moment to shine, so that was cool. And I'm pretty sure, guys, like I said before, Hulk will have his moment to shine. He will come out from hiding and have his moment to shine in Endgame, hopefully. Proxima's death was nice. I was like, nice. Alright, so now we're back to the other fight that's going on at Titan. Stark, members of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man all teaming up with Doctor Strange against Thanos. Oh my god, here comes one of my other favorite parts. Doctor Strange versus Thanos. And I love that part where Doctor Strange summons the, what is that called? The mirror dimension. And then he like throws it at Thanos. But then when Thanos like shatters that thing into pieces, I was just like, oh my god, man. They're really giving everything they've got against him. And oh my god, that part. When Doctor Strange did that super cool move when all like those hands come out and all those clones of him surround Thanos. And they like throw their magic whip at him to restrain him, but it just wasn't enough, man. Ugh. Oh, and now here comes the epic fight against.
You throw another move at me, and I'm gonna lose it. Stop. You know me? I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge. My only curse is you.
And man, Iron Man was giving everything he's got as well. Oh my god, Iron Man was so cool. Also, let me just say, in the beginning, I really didn't like Iron Man, his character. I thought he was just so cocky. He was always making jokes. He thought he was like all that. I don't like characters like that. Characters that think that they're like this. I don't like that. I think it wasn't until Captain America: Civil War I started liking Iron Man, because I think after the events of the attack on New York and Avengers, the first Avengers movie, I think that's when he started to change. He was still funny, he was still cocky and everything, but I think during his time, meeting people, going through these events, he changed. It's kind of like how we changed too. And that's what I did like that character development, especially with Thor. I didn't like Thor that much in the first movie, but then I started liking him more in the second and third because he grew to become a better person than the way Thor is right now. And the same thing with Iron Man. I think in this movie, he was becoming so close with Mrs. Potts and, thinking about, settling down. Now he's thinking about having kids with her and everything. And then this one, watching him fight, giving it everything he's got with all these gadgets and everything, I was just like, man, he's so badass. This movie made me love him as well, even more. And he finally leaves that scratch on Thanos. I think that got Thanos pissed. Yeah, he was getting annoyed. I would have gotten annoyed too, like having all these people throwing stuff at me. I would have been annoyed. I would have been like, I'm sick of this shit. Oh god, and then when Iron Man's suit was like, little by little, was like coming off in pieces or whatever. And this part. I really thought in that part when Thanos stabbed him with that thing, I really thought he was gonna die. I was like, oh my god, no.
I hope they remember you.
I will remember Tony Stark. Even after Endgame. Whatever happens to him, man, I really hope he lives.
Stop.
Okay, now here comes this part.
Spare his life, and I will give you the stone.
No tricks. Don't.
So, it was getting to the point where it just seemed like there was no stopping Thanos. Like, Thanos was just too strong. I really thought Stark was gonna die. And then that's when Doctor Strange interrupted and saying like, no, stop and spare his life. Now we get to go back to where, remember when we discussed when Doctor Strange told Stark that if anything were to happen, if it comes to it, between you and the kid and the time stone, I will not hesitate to let any of you die. And then look what he does. I thought that was really cool. Like, I think that, to me, I felt like that's when they had a bond. Like, they fought together, they tried their best to stop Thanos, and he thought, I can't let him die. But, which comes to another theory. But before I get to the theory, um, I thought in that part where Doctor Strange reveals the Time Stone and then hands it over to Thanos, I really thought it was a fake stone because the way Doctor Strange looked when he was passing over the Time Stone over to Thanos, he had that look like if hopefully he falls for it, but I don't think it wasn't fake because even Thanos was all like no tricks, otherwise he was gonna kill Stark. So now let's discuss the theory. I feel like another reason why Doctor Strange stopped Thanos from killing Tony Stark is because part of that vision that he saw where they win, Tony Stark is alive. If Tony Stark were to die in that moment by Thanos, maybe the prophecy or that vision would not happen. The events, all the domino effect would have lead to like their victory. So he knows that he saw Tony Stark and he's alive in that theory where they win. So he still needs him alive. So
One to go.
you're too late, Quill.
Where is he? Did we just lose? Why did you do that? We're in the end game now.
Now that. Alright, like I said, let's go ahead and start talking about his prophecy, his vision of what he saw. I don't know. I don't know what he saw, but basically, like I said, he wanted Tony Stark to live because, like I said, he saw Iron Man alive in the vision where they all win. And that moment where Iron Man tells him, like, why did you do that? I would have, like, just have him kill me, then you give him the time stone. But he doesn't understand, like, that's part of, like, the domino effect that's going to take place later on, where hopefully this leads to our victory. So I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange told them the vision. I'm pretty sure maybe they know, maybe they don't. We don't know if, actually, we don't know if Doctor Strange told Tony Stark and Star-Lord and everybody else. Even if he did, the only person would have known is. So guys, this is where we're going to have to end the video, but I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this. We will definitely continue talking more about Avengers Infinity War, about the highlights, the favorite characters, all that good stuff in the next video. So I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget, Avengers Endgame is coming out very, very soon. It's on April 26th. I hope you got your tickets reserved. If you need to rewatch Avengers Infinity War, it's out everywhere in stores, and also it's also on Netflix. So you have Netflix, it's also there as well, so you can rewatch it. So yeah, thank you all so much once again, and I'll see you all hopefully in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.